Now them people, it's the man like the J-Cass. I'm here with Suave Barbershops. And I brought two friends of mine down from, well, two alumni of mine from Leeds Beckett University. Man on my right.
Alright everybody, how we doing? I'm Dylan. Some of you might know me, some of you might not. But I'm happy to be here anyway.
And the man on my left.
I'm Ethan from London. You call me Z. Yeah, we're here to talk about a bit of football.
Yeah, as you could, well, for those who don't know, Dylan is a Man City fan.
Come on, City, that's all I have to say. Sat with an Arsenal fan.
A man like Ethan is an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, big time gunner.
So we're going to talk about the match on Sunday, which is, what was that, the 5th game, 6th, 7th, 8th game of the season?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Didn't look at it was.
Nah, it's far from a lucky. Far from a lucky. So... Yeah, so now then, let's talk about this match on Sunday.
Yes.
So I did a little bit of research, and the talking point was, if Man City would have won that game, it would have been the most consecutive victories against one club, which shows how one-sided the rivalry has been until now.
Bastard. Well, I'll start then. I think we're playing quite horrible at the moment, truth be told. Obviously, I'm as big as fan as to come, as you both know. But Haaland's missing, no De Bruyne. It's horrible, lads, to watch it. Because I'm the one that gets bullied after the games. I'm just glad I didn't see you after the game. Because I saw everyone else. I definitely saw you, Cass. But yeah, it just, we're passing the ball. Are we defending good? Possibly. But attacking-wise, there's nothing there for me.
Okay.
Hey, I don't think you can say it's horrible, man. That's the first time Manchester City have lost 2 games consecutively in 5 years. 5 years.
5 years.
Every other team in the Premier League, it's been this season or last season. You guys, 5 years. Horrible, man. I'm not sure. You guys, as an Arsenal fan, we fell apart last year. That was horrible. Finishing 8th 2 times in a row, that was horrible.
Yeah.
Nah,
Sure.
it's 2 games.
So,
You ain't nothing to worry.
Is Man City going to blame the injuries?
I'm blaming the injuries. I'm blaming not having De Bruyne because I think he's a massive, massive change to the team. I think he's the backbone, he's the glue to the team, and I'm missing him daily.
Who did you have playing in who replaced De Bruyne for that match?
We had Kovacic messing up, which we'll speak about hopefully in a bit, but he just is an absolute fool.
Yeah.
Well, he was that game. I've never been a fan of him, and I might get shot down for that, but he's no Kevin.
He seems to have been more like a defensive midfielder
Exactly.
than a flair midfield playmaker.
Yeah. And I don't think he's got enough character to him. He doesn't have any, going down the actual pitch, he doesn't look as explosive as De Bruyne might be.
Yeah, he goes sideways quite a lot, but when he's going sideways, it's very composed. He shows, you watch him playing for Croatia with the likes of Modric and people like Brozovic. This guy, the way they work together as a midfield, but City are very forward thinking and very direct, whereas he keeps the play going. But I don't know. I think you guys, the injuries shouldn't really be a problem because then you have people on the bench. You got Calvin Phillips who hasn't played in a while, but
He's not played in a while.
before he was at City, you'd say he was an elite CDM. He's starting for England. He can always come on. Mateus Nunes,
Yeah.
you guys just signed him. He's a class player as well.
He definitely
Maybe
is.
Pep might have got it a bit wrong. Decided not to go as defensively.
For once in a while, I think Pep's got it wrong this time.
By the sounds of it, it sounded like Man City had a stronger bench, but didn't utilise it
We didn't.
for this particular game.
We didn't utilise a lot of things, and I think Haaland could have definitely turned up, and he just didn't. And that's a big problem.
To me, it looked a bit sluggish. I was expecting some spectacular beast on, him to be the main threat, but I didn't even. I barely saw him.
I think we all were, and I think we're all surprised why he's just not there. But it's only him to blame. He can't blame the team because it's not like he's got no one else around him. He's got key players around him, and he's the one that needs to score for us.
You compare players like Haaland to Mbappe or Kane. Mbappe can make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Kane can make his own goals, create goals. Haaland needs everyone else to be performing, and I don't think City gave him enough chances. You know, if they find him in the box, he's gonna score, and there weren't passes going into him. He couldn't take a shot, and maybe he was a bit intimidated.
Did he have a shot?
Nah, it's been 3 games in his Premier League since he joined the Premier League where he hasn't accumulated a shot. 2 of them against Arsenal when Saliba and Gabriel were playing. So maybe he was a bit intimidated. So that big shoulder barge from Saliba kind of put him off a bit.
Put him off big time.
Yeah,
It's put him off.
Big old Haaland was getting bullied by the Gunners.
yeah, right in his pocket. Let him out after the game.
He's humbled that game. I think he was. He just couldn't get anything off, which is tough for me. But never mind.
Yeah. For me, for Arsenal, I was a bit nervous about the goalkeeper, Raya. I didn't watch was it the Champions League game? He made a mistake or something. And I heard the commentator saying he was carrying something from the last match into this game. It was a bit shaky. And every time the ball was being played back to him and being played out from the back, I was like, just don't give this guy the ball.
It's interesting you say that because for me, since maybe the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of the times the ball will be with the centre back, and the centre backs will be passing sideways, backwards, a bit nervous with the ball, and then when it gets to like Raya or previously with Ramsdale, then the attack starts. He has a lofting ball over to the wing or to the fullbacks, and then it starts an attack. And so for me, I really like when the goalkeeper has the ball. More often than not, it starts the play.
Okay.
And I have faith in him. He made that one mistake against City, which could have ended in a goal, and then it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
But he didn't make it, and we ended up winning the game with a clean sheet.
Yeah. I mean, the second half, I think he settled down a lot more. But in the first half, he was just making me nervous, super nervous. I think that's where City could have capitalised on his nervousness.
Yeah. I mean, there was a few chances where I thought we're going to bag one in here. And I think Alvarez, especially this season, is a little magician. He's just looking dangerous, but he just wasn't his day.
What's interesting with Alvarez is, for me, arguably top 3 striker in the Premier League right now, and he's second in City. And he could play, I think, at any other club in the league.
He could. Definitely could.
Do you think he should move to Arsenal?
I hope not. I'd start him every game. I'd put him on the front every game. I don't know why he got brought off. I wasn't happy with him bringing off. That was when I knew we were going to lose.
And that type of game, it's not screaming for a Haaland, it's screaming for someone like Alvarez to have his moment rather than someone else finding him.
Exactly.
Talking about sendings off, I think your guy should have got sent off.
Big Kovacic. He's a fool, or an absolute fool. At that point, I was screaming at the TV. I was like, what are you doing, you idiot? There's no need for that. Yeah. In a big game like that, you want players to be composed. He just wasn't composed.
I saw early on in the game getting the yellow card. And not far after, who got a yellow card after that?
It was just before, it was Jorginho. Yeah, but then you speak of composure. 60 minutes on a yellow card against City, and to stay and play that well and stay composed, that just shows how good his experience is and how important he is for the team. Yeah, Kovacic, that guy, what's he doing? He's got a red card.
I think he should have been straight off.
He got let off lightly.
He should have been straight off. And that's coming from me. And you know how biased I am sometimes. He should have been off.
Could have been 2 reds.
Imagine that.
Could have been.
So, standout players for the first half for City for you?
Alvarez. It's got to be Alvarez. All this season I've been praising him. Foden as well. He should have had, a lot more praise. But he's not played enough, I don't think.
He was a bit quiet that game as well, Foden, I reckon.
In general, though, Foden, I think, is a little star for us. But I'm still mad at Haaland. He just ain't performing.
You look at Alvarez, man. How old is he? He's 21 maybe?
21, I think.
Young guy.
Look at what he's won.
Young side.
Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, World Cup.
Completed football.
Yeah, this is...
At 21.
What else has he got to do? Same as Foden.
Yeah.
It's not much more he can do. It's impressive.
It is very good.
Right then, standout player for Arsenal first half.
It's got to be Declan Rice, man. This guy is
Yeah,
so
Declan Rice.
sure,
Yeah.
so reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Wins every tackle, wins every duel. And also got to mention Saliba and Gabriel together. Like,
You love that duo, don't you?
man,
Together.
everyone says Saliba this. No one really gives their praise to Gabriel.
Yeah.
The two of them together is what shores Arsenal's defence. We win the league for me if both of them stay fit.
That's a
Especially
big
last season.
statement.
Last season,
Yeah.
if they were both fit, we would have won that league.
We will see. We will see.
So moving on to the second half, then knowing things have calmed down a bit. I've seen, as I was saying, so you've just been talking about the absence of Saka and his replacements, and how it made it. How you would rather leave Saka out and have. Or would you say you'd rather have on instead of Saka?
Yeah, Saka's amazing. He's the driving force of this Arsenal team. He was the one who took us out of like the darker days for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather play City without Saka and they don't have De Bruyne or Rodri than play with Saka and they have De Bruyne and Rodri.
Mm-hmm.
I think those two in midfield, like we said, those guys are the glue. They help keep everyone composed and sure with defensively and going forward. You know,
I mentioned another player who was kind of like he was in the game. He wasn't in the game. He got kind of blocked out of the game. Odegaard.
yeah, man, this guy he's a magician. You know, he reminds me so much of Ozil, but with work rate. So it's really good. But he was just taking out the game. They were tight marking him, didn't give him time, and that's what you got to do to stop him. Because if you do give him the time and the space, he capitalizes. He'll deliver a perfect pass, or he'll smash it into the bottom corner. You know, he's a great player like that.
So that seems to have been Pep Guardiola's one of his main game plan missions was to keep Odegaard quiet.
That's what you've got to do. Like Ethan said, you know, you've got to be on him for 90 minutes. And he would look better in a City shirt, I think. But it's not going to happen. But in terms of a player, I love watching him. He's one of my favourites in the Prem. He's just is great to watch. He just knows what to do, how to captain the team, and he's just brilliant. He's very good.
If he was allowed, if he found that space to run rings around City in the midfield in this game, do you think the scoreline would have been a lot different?
Definitely.
You would have been embarrassed.
I think, yeah, we would. I think he can just demolish a team. I think it was Fulham that they went to one time, and it's like they were playing school children.
No,
I don't mean to be like offending Fulham or all, but they were just embarrassing the way they could not get the ball.
He dictates the tempo.
He does,
Like
he does.
he decides at what pace the game goes. If he wants to slow it down and get it so that like we're gonna play it around the edge of the box, find the man, be patient. It's all up to him.
Definitely.
But if the ball gets cleared out of our area and he's got the ball, he's
That's
not gonna go away from a quick pass down the line.
That is it.
Let's jump to the goal.
Do we have to?
In the face of Aki. So Martinelli. So he comes on for Trossard.
Yeah, I think it was Trossard
Mm-hmm.
to play off the left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So pause. Martinelli's impact on the game for when he came on. Do you think that the tempo lifted a bit more?
This guy he plays with that Brazilian flair. You know, a lot of people don't rate him in this league. He's a serious player. Even Pep Guardiola speaks so highly of him. He wants him in a City shirt. If you have someone like Kyle Walker, probably the fastest player in the league, and super strong, amazing defender, and he can't get the ball off you, and you're running down his lane. That's seriously impressive. You know, I'm surprised Trossard came off though, because I thought Nketiah, he wasn't making chances, he wasn't linking up play. It just didn't feel right with him in there. I thought he was definitely going to come off, but you know, he took off Trossard and tempo.
Do you think he
sped
kept
up.
on Nketiah just for his pace?
Could have been. You saw against Wolves when City just lost before. It's all about the pace down the wings. It's how they beat them. You know, how many times is City going to concede 2 goals or whatever it was to Wolves? Pedro Neto with the speed down the wings. That's why it's such a shame that we were missing Saka and Martinelli to start the game. Cause
That would have been deadly.
yeah,
It would have been
Yeah,
dangerous.
We
capitalised.
definitely would have been.
You would have been in serious trouble, bro.
We are in serious trouble.
No,
We're in big
not
trouble.
serious trouble. There's no need to panic.
I was freaking out when that goal went in because my heart sank. And I know we've won the treble and we're City and like everyone hates us and that, but I'm still a football fan. And when you lose like that in like the last dying minutes off a deflection, it's heartbreaking.
It is.
It's awful. It's awful. I know you're laughing now, but you know, I did not sleep that night because I know any other day we could have won, but it wasn't our day.
It was a decent game. It was a
Not bad.
decent game.
Man, I take you back to last season when we played you guys. Talk about not sleeping in the night, just thinking about every chance missed. That was me, man.
It's always like a big boxing fight when we play you lot, I think, because it's like we've got like a big feel to it. One of them big games. It's been hyped as one of the biggest games in the league, and I love that.
I've never been to the Etihad Stadium. What's the atmosphere like down there?
I knew you'd bring this up. Right, we don't have the best of fans. We have good fans when we're away, but I will put my hands up and say now, I wish our fans were better, because we've just won the treble, and there's a lot of people coming to see the treble winning team, and I'd rather have a group of lads that I go travel down the country with, up and down every week. It's good atmosphere, but it could be 10 times better.
And the atmosphere at the Emirates Stadium.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
You know, since Arteta's come in and really made a difference, it's like it's unity within the fan base. Like everyone's happy. Everyone wants to watch the game. Even when we're losing, the fans are still going off. And we've always had very good away fans. You know, being in an away ground with those Arsenal fans, you really see the passion amongst the fan base and the love for the team. It's really something to see.
I think City might be a bit intimidated by the Gunner support on Sunday.
I think we was. I think that's not what we needed going into that game. We needed to be reminded who we are, and it just didn't happen. And I think after the game as well, there was a lot of drama, which I don't really get involved with, but we just need to get our heads on, screwed back on, and then we're there then.
I caught a bit of that, but I couldn't understand what was going on. Has there been any news or anything being whispered through the grapevine?
Yeah. From what I saw, Carl Walker ran over to some Arsenal staff members, mouthing off as he does. And then after the game as well, there was a lot of fan interaction saying, you know, you've nearly won the league by beating us. You nearly won the league. But, you know, you don't get involved with that. The results count for themselves. They speak for themselves. And after the international break, we go again.
I mean, you see this come the end of the season, you look back at these kind of games. Last season, Arsenal finished 84 points, City finished 89.
That's tight.
Well, if Arsenal win one of those games, 87, and City would have 86, you win the league. So if we are serious about challenging for this title, these are the games we have to win.
I think this was the game that Arsenal had to win, and it keeps the title challenge interesting now, because you got Liverpool up there, you got Tottenham, they won't survive. You got up there Newcastle.
Yeah.
A bit slow this season, but they're still a very threatening team. They're doing well in Europe. I think they will win their group.
Yeah.
I think they'll go through. And it's not an easy place to go, St James's Park. You look at the way the fans acted. Talk about atmosphere. That's some serious
I love their
fans.
They're proper fans.
It reminded me of Kevin Keegan days, that Champions League match for you.
Man, it was something to see. Every tackle, everything celebrated, full volume.
Yeah.
How can a player go and play there and play against that? It's like another man to have on the pitch.
That's it. Another 10 men, 11 men. Yes, it was a very good game. But yeah, so Arsenal second in the league, Spuds are top. Man Pity third.
Yeah, I like that.
Where's Scumchester United? Where's Man United at? We don't know. Relegation
What was he
zone.
talking about?
It's like bottom of
Fuck
second half
United.
table, 10th maybe.
Hey, this one's for my brother. Man, you are done with, bro.
Dog shit, mate.
Fraud, absolute
Dog
fraud. That
done.
man managing that team. I'm sorry, I'm not convinced at all by him. I don't like his play. I'm not a fan.
So, going into the new year, what do you think is going to be top of the top four heading into the new year?
Same as it is right now. I'm not sure necessarily in that order,
Yeah.
but I think the title will end up going down to these four teams: Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and yeah.
I agree with you. I don't know where it's going to land in terms of the latter year, because we've still got to play Spurs and United. And United away is the one game I do get nervous about. It's the one game I have to win
I think
every year.
Even though I don't like even
Yeah.
Manchester teams, but I think City are easy.
It's personal.
do
that
away
game.
with United.
It's every year I need to win that game.
But historically, like even in the last few years, United perform against you guys. Like they do at
Yeah,
home.
they do. Because they have to turn up.
It's if they don't
It's
turn
rules.
up, it's
It's rules.
embarrassing for their fans.
Yeah. We'll see though.
Spurs as well, bit of a bogey team, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have most of my friends are Spurs fans, you know.
So I have to laugh when you mention Spurs.
It's going down to their stadium. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't get it. It's just we get lost in that massive fish tank of a stadium.
So surprise team then. Who would you think is going to be a surprise team?
Aston Villa.
Who's going to? Yeah.
Right. Aston Villa, man. Unai Emery, I'm not a big fan of because of his time at Arsenal.
Yeah.
But you see what he's doing. He's bringing in players that he had at Arsenal. I think they've just been linked to Dani Ceballos, trying to bring him in to shape his midfield. You see what he wants. He likes those passing players. They play some serious football.
Yeah.
Serious football.
I mean, I think Brighton. I always back Brighton in every game. They're a great team. I think Matoma's just a baller. He won't stay at Brighton though. But I think
PhD, bro. PhD in dribbling.
Liverpool are back on the up, which is not great, is it? But you know, we'll see. But always backing Brighton for me.
I'd say Brighton. Because I'm a big fan of Danny Welbeck.
Yeah.
I've liked
Yeah.
him. Whatever team Danny Welbeck's been, I've always liked that
Yeah,
team.
he's a cool guy.
Danny Welbeck's
Yeah.
cool.
He's very underrated. He is that guy who always puts in 100%.
Definitely.
Whether when he's fit or when he's injured, he's that guy.
Talking about Brighton strikers, like Evan Ferguson, he's like 19, man. This
Crazy,
guy
isn't it?
Serious.
It's
He scored a
crazy.
hat trick against who was it this year?
Oh, what it now? It was early on, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Quite
it was
early
a
on.
big game. Man, 19 years old to be scoring a hat trick in the
But
Premier
anyway,
League.
He's amazing, isn't
Yeah, doesn't make me
good.
feel good about what I'm doing. Serious players. Yeah. Even last two games we've played you guys. Yeah. Community Shield. Guys looked
Community
like you were
Shield.
winning that game and
Community
then
Shield was
deflected goal.
Yeah, Community Shield. I were on holiday in Spain, and I was surrounded by Arsenal fans. It ruined my holiday that because
Yeah.
they were just crowding me, and I was like, right, I've got to watch this game. And I'm like, oh well, easy, it's Community Shield. It went down to pens, didn't it?
It was like 89th minute. You
Yeah.
guys were winning the whole game or something. Nah, you scored a bit late, but dominating the whole game.
And I'll-
Deflected goal.
Yeah, and I'll always
Crazy.
remember this moment, like a little kid in front of me, like 7 years old. And I was like, oh, Dad, we're going to win the Community Shield and all that. And I went like, hey, you, I'll see you after the game. I think I ruined his holiday, but never mind.
Tell him about the quadruple
Yeah,
that's coming this year.
just reminded him.
We get the Community Shield. Let us have our Community
treble,
Shield,
mate,
bro.
treble, you know what I mean?
That's
But
ours.
yeah, that's what it's about, that is. It's a good laugh, that.
The two players we mentioned earlier, De Bruyne and Rodri, were the
That's
two
it.
that missed those penalties. You know?
That is it.
Yeah, still won that game. Very happy with that.
Missing Kev though, missing him
Get
daily.
paid all that money to miss a penalty,
I know.
and I get stick on Sunday in a Sunday league. I don't get paid.
Sunday League where it's about though.
Right.
That's where the fun is.
I'm sure you're good, but you know,
I'm
De Bruyne,
retired
bro.
now.
You know De Bruyne.
Tired.
It's a serious players, man.
I would have been the next year, right, back in my day.
Yeah,
If it weren't for the knee injury,
Yeah.
You want
Was
for
it
the
actually?
back of the
I did have an
I've
acute.
heard that before. I've heard
I
that
did
before.
have an acute medial ligament injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible, bro.
Hey, you
Horrible.
said you're quick as well.
Yeah, still fast.
Yeah.
Even against all you youngsters,
Yeah.
because my nickname in school was Speedy. Because I
Speedy.
followed Leeds United and Gary Speedy was
Oh,
my favourite
yeah,
player.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, yeah, Speedy. Yeah, bro.
I remember that from the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a little
the
icebreaker.
first day was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, now we're in a second year.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Are we all enjoying second year?
Yeah, so far so good.
It's been interesting.
It's different, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a bit slower,
Yeah,
but that's expected. But yeah.
it's good to see everyone.
Yeah.
Especially now we know how to manage his time more. more accurately.
Yeah, not learning the new ideas of going to university or just
Yeah.
keeping the same thing, getting back into a rhythm.
Definitely.
Got to motivate yourself as well, you know, getting in. Yeah.
Yeah, and taking, making the most of his opportunities. Like coming down here, doing these podcasts.
Yeah, it's a great experience, you know. Get to speak your mind. Yeah. Get
Lay it
ready
all
for a
out.
few modules. Yeah.
Got to lay it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Swab Barbershop.
Yeah, thanks for having
Man,
us.
like,
Yeah,
thank you, my
it's been
friend.
really good.
Big up
Yeah.
the Tokyo Red. Big up Ethan. Big up Dylan.
Thank you, mate.
And
Thank you all of you.
The sit down.
I'm Ethan.
Oh, yeah, Ethan, yeah.
I'm Dylan.
Oh, Dylan.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
I didn't know.
Cass.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got an idea who you are.